How's it going, guys? Welcome to the channel where I'll give you all the hints and tricks you need to improve your game at FIFA Pro Clubs. In today's video, I'll be going through the centre back role, offering some tips and advice to improve your game. As we all know, centre back is probably the least forgiving of all the positions on the pitch. For a striker, you can miss 20 chances, score a goal in the last minute and you're the hero. For a defender, you can make 20 tackles in a game, make 4 goal line clearances, you make one bad pass the whole game that leads to a goal, you probably get dropped. So for the first tip, as a centre back, here it comes. No shots. None. Zero. Now let me elaborate on that a little bit. A lot of centre backs, they have it in their mind that they need to win the ball back. That's their job. They need to make that big, sexy, smashing tackle, win the ball back and play a beautiful 50-yard long ball over the top for the striker to run in and score. Not your job. Mistakes are made when you're a centre back and you're trying to preempt what the centre forward is going to do. So you're like, oh, he's going to run left here. I'm going to do a big jump to the left-hand side. And then he's not going that way and he turns you inside out and he gets a shot. When you're positioning yourself, don't focus on what the striker's doing. Focus on where the ball is and where the goal is. And have yourself in between those 2 points. What I usually do as centre backs, I see where my goalkeeper is, see where the ball is, and I just position myself on that line. Now obviously that's not possible every single time. Sometimes there's a pass on, you want to kind of position yourself to block the pass as well. But 80% of the time, keep yourself between the goalkeeper and the ball. Don't move from there. The striker wants to do a little shimmy to the left, let him shimmy left. If he wants to turn around, play back to his midfield, let him do it. For tip number 2, do not hold L1. There's 3 levels to a centre back. There's the bad centre back that doesn't hold L1 and also has terrible positioning. There's the middle of the road L1 holding average defender, where he does okay, his positioning's alright, but he gets caught out in the same situations over and over again because he's holding L1. And then there's a good centre back who has good positioning, knows where he needs to be, because he knows in certain situations it's going to drag you out of position. So if you're awful and you're a striker and you have to jump in centre back for 1 or 2 games, hold L1. You can be forgiven for that. It'll help you out a lot. But if you want to be the upper levels of the centre back world, then you got to learn where you need to be standing. You got to be watching where you are at all times. It's the lazy way out. Your team's attacking, you have the camera on the attack, you're not looking at yourself. You're just going to hold L1 and it'll look after itself. No. Stop holding L1. Just get out of that habit. It's terrible. For tip number 3, drop. So many times you see it. Your team's attacking, the ball's up the other end. Suddenly you lose the ball. The defense plays a long ball over the top and your centre back is watching. Oh, I better turn around and sprint. Too late. The second your team loses the ball, drop 10 yards. No matter what's happening around you, once it's lost, you gotta drop 10 yards straight away. Now, it doesn't have to be a full-on sprint belting back to your own goal, but a gradual slow drop all the way back to your 18-yard box if the attack goes that far. Stop trying to win the ball in midfield. Stop reacting too late to a through ball. You will never be beaten over the top. You will never be beaten by a through ball. If once possession is lost, you're starting to work back. Now, generally, you will have one person controlling that in your defense. If it's a 3-man backline, generally the slow guy in the middle is the one that will say, all right, guys, let's drop. And everyone stays in line with him. The second that long over the top through ball is played, by the time it takes your big slow centre back to turn around and start sprinting, the striker's gone. You're not catching him. So once possession is lost, drop. Doesn't have to be full sprint, but just keep going backwards. Tip number 4, mark tight inside the box. So outside the box, up by the halfway line, anywhere out there, not inside your own box, let them have a little bit of space. Inside the box, you gotta be fucking tight. No room to move. Because if a cross comes in, they're hitting it first time. If you're not in front of them, it's a goal. So always, when you're defending and it's inside the box and the opposition are kind of camped in your half and they're ticky-tacking around and they're trying to find space, get touch tight. When you're defending deeper than your 18-yard line, the edge of the box, there's no space behind you. Do not worry about the ball in behind. If it's going to take the Lord himself to come down and kick the ball in behind to get it that perfect, to get a goal from it. So get touch tight when you're defending from the 18-yard box and anywhere inside the box. No space. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Niente. And finally, tip number 5. What the fuck was it? And finally, tip number 5. A tip that's been around for years and years and years. If in doubt, boot it out. So many centre backs, they get the ball and they win it, they make a lovely tackle, and then they're trying to find a sexy pass, they're trying to bend one in around the striker and then make it go up over a divot over the CDM into the cam. If you've no pass on, hit that circle, blast it out. Don't clear it with square, don't clear it with L1 triangle, just bang that circle button. Now don't do this every time. I know this sounds contradictory. The difference between the good centre-back and the average centre-back is a good centre-back knows when he has space. And a bad centre-back, once he wins it back, is like, fuck it, and boots it. Sometimes you will have space and you will have time and there's no one pressing you. Then you find the pass. But those other times, when there's clearly no pass on, just kick it. Clear it. Get it out. Well, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you found it enjoyable and also useful. If you did, please hit the like button. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Take care.